The Evolution of the Male Dancer by Matt Gallo. Male domination. Men were the first to dominate in ballet. All professional ballet dancers were men until 1681. Female role in ballet were played by costumed males, as it was in all forms of theater at the time. King Louis XIV opened the first dance school, Académie Royale des Danses, began dancing as a young boy, appeared in La Belle de la Nuit as Apollo, and became known as the Sun King. Formally documented the 5 foot positions in ballet. The decline of males in dance was first seen in the Paris Opera in 1818. Instructors noticed a shortage of male dancers in relation to female dancers. This imbalance would only increase over the years. Causes of the decline. France, the dance capital of the world at the time, was experiencing the French Revolution, which had a great effect on male dancers for 2 reasons. 1. The interest of the people shifted from the aristocratic refinement of court to the common man. 2. People, especially males, had to rely on themselves for protection, and therefore males no longer had time for leisure activity. The rise of women. As the presence of males slowly diminished in ballet companies, not only in France but all over the world, there was consequently a rise of women to replace them. Shift of focus. With all the troubles in France, the focus of the dance world shifted to other countries such as Russia. This shift brought upon the fame of some male choreographers, such as Marius Petipa. Marius Petipa, female male dancer and choreographer, who fled France during the Revolution and moved to Russia. Choreographed famous ballets such as The Nutcracker, Swan Lake, and Sleeping Beauty. Unanimously seen by artists of classical ballet to be the most influential ballet master and choreographer that ever lived. Contemporary male roles. Today, males are active in ballet, but no longer as dancers, rather as choreographers and managers. Females have filled in for the vacancies that males have left as dancers, but in turn have had trouble breaking into the fields of choreography and management. Sergei Diaghilev, famous 20th century choreographer, founder of the world-famous Ballet Russe, toured the world with ballet-featured world-famous dancers Nijinsky and Pavlova. Vaslav Nijinsky, 20th century Russian ballet dancer, known for his incredible leaps and unrivaled grace. Played leading roles in Swan Lake, Giselle, and Sleeping Beauty. His status as a legend is unequaled in the history of dance. Holy Cross dance. Now that we have seen what has led to the decrease in males in dance around the world, how do Holy Cross students feel about dance and males' role in it? Student survey. In order to answer this question, I have surveyed some current students at Holy Cross and asked them questions pertaining to male dancers at Holy Cross. First question. What do you believe the ratio of guys to girls is in dance class at Holy Cross?
I think the ratio is probably 20% males and 80% females.
I think the ratio is probably 20% males.
I think the ratio is 1 to 5. I would say that the ratio of guys to girls in dance classes would be 2 guys for every 10 girls.
I think the ratio is 1 to 5.
I believe the ratio for guys to girl in a dance class at Holy Cross is 1 guy per every 5 girls.
Right.
I believe that for every 3 girls in dance classes, there would be 1 guy.
I would say that the ratio
my experience with
of
dance
guys to
class at
girls in
Holy
dance
Cross,
classes would be
I would
2
say there's
guys
about
for every
1
10
guy
girls.
for every 7 girls.
Second question. Why do you think that dance classes are predominantly filled with females?
I believe the ratio for guys to girl in a dance class at
I think the dance classes are predominantly filled with females because it's a female-dominated field. I typically would put girls with dancing because it's feminine and elegant, whereas I put guys more towards things like football and more masculine.
Right.
I believe that for every 3 girls in dance classes, there would be 1 guy.
Dance classes in general have more of a female stereotypical view, and the classes offered are more female-based, And if they had classes such as hip hop and more male-based dancing, I feel like there'd be more males in the classes.
I believe that dance classes at Holy Cross are filled with mostly girls because dancing is a very feminine thing, and in our society, it's been known for girls to dance and not so much for men to be dancing.
In my experience with dance class at Holy Cross, I would say there's
I feel
about
that dance
one guy
classes are
for every
predominantly filled
7
with women
girls.
because I think dancing is a far more feminine activity, and I feel that men don't partake in these dance classes for fear of embarrassment or looking more feminine than they desire.
I would say that dance classes at Holy Cross are predominantly made up of women because males tend to be more nervous about taking classes that they feel that maybe their fellow classmates would make fun of them for taking, such as dance. Third question. What things come to mind when you think of male dancers?
I think the dance classes are
I
predominantly.
think it's pretty rare, and I would picture like one guy with a bunch of girls on stage. I think that the role male dancers play are usually to facilitate the female dancers and to help with lifting and more complex moves that involve two people rather than just ladies.
I typically would put girls with dancing because it's
When
feminine
I
and elegant,
picture,
whereas I put guys more
males
towards things
dancing,
like
what comes to
football and
mind
like masculine.
are very feminine males who may be more in touch with their feminine side opposed to other males. Richard Simmons also comes to mind, and tight leggings.
I feel that the reason for that is because males in America don't dance as much. It's not as large an activity as it is for males to dance in other societies, such as in South America or in Europe.
I would say the reason why.
Fourth
there's more
question.
females in the
When you
dance
think of
classes
ballet,
is
what
because,
images come to mind?
dance classes in
I think of tutus, probably colors like pink and purple, women, like people who are thin.
I believe that dance classes at
I think of a skinny girl with pink tights on and a pink tutu.
feminine.
When I think of ballet, I think of pointe shoes, leotards, and tights.
I feel that dance classes are predominantly filled with women. When I think of ballet, I think of long-necked, skinny women prancing across the stage.
I would say that dance classes at Holy Cross are For the predominantly males, made up of women
do you feel that
because
dance is
males
emasculating?
tend to be more nervous.
I feel that dancing for men it is emasculating. However, it can also be a source for strength in a man's life, in that it takes severe physical and mental discipline to really execute certain dance moves and be able to get things right. It's sort of like a sport. You have to train and practice to get very good. So in that respect, dancing is not emasculating. However, I think that there is a certain aspect of emasculation that comes along with a man dancer, and a very female-dominated activity.
I think depending on the dance, you can feel that, but I feel that if a man is dancing, it can feel emasculating if a man is dancing alone, but if a man is dancing with a woman, then it'll make you feel like more of a man.
I think it's pretty rare, and I would picture
The
like
ballerina.
one guy with a bunch of girls on
Ballet is
stage.
seen as unmanly, but ironically, the movements are based on moves from fencing that require great strength and endurance. Male dancers are often seen as homosexual because of the sensual movements and revealing clothing that challenge the social norms for the display of the male body. The art form has an undeniably homoerotic appeal, says Liz Heilman, who writes about sexuality. Therefore, it is unfair to deduct that all male dancers are gay. Rather, it can be said that gay men are attracted to ballet because of its homoerotic appeal.
I feel like dance can definitely be masculating. I faced this shame at a very young age, as I was in a ballet version of the Nutcracker with my sister for 5 years, starting in kindergarten. It was actually forced out of it by my friends who would make fun of me for being in a ballet. It wasn't until high school that I went back to dance, and I was in my high school's dance show for 4 years. And I knew coming to Holy Cross that I wanted to pursue some sort of dance, not necessarily as a major, but it's something to do because it's something I'm definitely interested in. And it has really helped my perception of male dancers, and I would hope that other males at Holy Cross would have the courage to take a dance class, because it really does better your perception of dancers and males' role in dance.
I think that the role male dancers play are usually to facilitate the female dancers and
Special thanks to Sarah Masterson, Colleen Murphy, Andrea Davis, Brian Walker, and Patty McCain.